The swarm brought ruin to our world. Our proud people became refugees. And yet, they could not shatter our unity. For we are bound by the color, the sacred union of our every thought and emotion. Today, we retake our homeworld, and with it, our legacy. At long last, we stand at the threshold of destiny. For today, we will restore the glory of our legacy. Today, we will retake what we have lost and reclaim our homeworld. And may the Kala's light guide us.
The invasion fleet stands ready. We await only your command, Hierarch.
You must halt this invasion at once.
Zeratul?
Templar! Arrest this traitor!
No! We will hear him out.
The end war has come. Amon, the Dark One, has returned.
This heretic cannot be trusted.
This invasion is a distraction from the true battle ahead. Amon's fury will engulf the entire galaxy.
Do not forget that it was his interference that brought ruin to Ire.
And that burden weighs heavily upon me. Arcanus, I have found a way to stand against the coming darkness. You must believe me.
We have been through much together, Zeratul. But far too many have sacrificed, in the hopes that this moment would come to pass. Executor, commence the invasion!
reclamation of Ire is underway. We are preparing to siege the warp network at Coruscant now.
Well done, Selendis. Once the warp conduits are free of infestation, our forces will strike as one across the surface of Ire.
The Templar await your command, Hierarch. The warp conduits have been secured. Our starfighters are moving to take this fight across the surface.
Take command of the invasion, Executor. Zeratul, you and I must discuss this most recent turn of events further. It seems the end war you warned of has begun. Tell me, old friend, what is it you have learned?
I have witnessed the end of all things. Horrific legions of hybrid, raising world upon world. In the darkness, lording over them, a shadowy form. Amon.
Yet, you spoke of a way to stand against him.
This vision was a benevolent one, as if an ancient voice called out from beyond. The keystone shall usher you unto hope.
Keystone?
I saw a burst of light revealing the Zelnaga artifact on the Terran world of Korhal. It is the keystone of this vision. The prophecies speak of Zelnaga standing against Amon in the end times. I believe this keystone will guide us to them.
I have always trusted you, Zeratul, but the burdens of leadership demanded much of me. There are times I am uncertain whether I was truly ready for such weight.
Your doubt is unfounded, young Artanis. You must embrace what you have become if you are to be the leader we now need.
You will go to James Raynor on Korhal and receive this keystone. I will marshal our forces for the war ahead. When you return, the Templar will be ready. Entaro Tassadar, old friend.
Entaro Artanis, brother. The Void Seeker lies in ruins. What has transpired here?
Zerg, protect the Dark Prelate.
The Zerg in this area should have been eradicated. Stalkers, hurry to the Nexus Point nearby and warn our brethren. I must investigate this further.
Zeratul, the Templar stationed here. I can no longer sense them within the Kala.
Is that not impossible? Your kind cannot disappear from the Kala, unless your nerve cords are severed.
Then the impossible has happened. I can no longer sense Artanis. There is only a void in the Kala where he should be.
The shadow moves against us, Executor. Artanis is in grave peril.
You must raise an army and find him. My Phase-Smith Karax will help you re-establish this Nexus Point. Zeratul, save Artanis.
Zeratul, I can sense your presence. The Kala is filled with rage. My mind is being consumed.
Artanis, you must hold on. We are coming for you.
Your lives are meaningless, purposeless. I grant you salvation.
Amon, the Dark God is here, on Ire. He has wrested control of the Kala. The Templar have fallen. With our nerve cords severed, only we Nerazine remain unaffected. It falls to us to halt this madness, brothers.
I can hear his whispers.
Fight, Artanis. Do not let Amon consume you.
Unending hatred.
He has corrupted the Kala. Your nerve cords chain you to his will. They must be removed.
I have been looking for you.
Artanis, praise
Your
the
nerve
gods.
cords, they must be removed.
It was done by the Dark Templar. I am free of the Kala's corruption. Are there others?
I have saved all that I could. Come, we must escape this world before time runs out.
Escape? How?
The Spear of Adun still rests beneath the ruins of Kor Shakal. Its generators are ancient. But a phase smith of your ability will know how to bring them online.
The Spear of Adun. I am honored to have the opportunity. This is fortune we cannot ignore.
Indeed. Come, we must go at once. The Spear of Adun lies dormant beneath the heart of the Conclave. I had hoped to raise it, to secure our victory against the Zerg. But now, it is our last hope for survival.
Artemis, why do you flee from your salvation?
Selendis. She has fallen under Amon's control. Karax, we have to bring the Spear of Adun online.
The first power cell is activating, but the remaining 4 have been disabled by creep.
I see. We have no choice but to clear them. What of our defenses?
Unfortunately, they are without power. However, the Spear of Adun support systems can aid us. They will allow us to deploy pylons anywhere on the battlefield. We should deploy one here as soon as possible. Power transfer completed. The Spear of Adun is ready to depart.
Want all firstborn freed from Amon aboard, Facesmith. We must flee this world if we are to survive.
As you command. Engineering, and last of the 3 great arc ships, each created to ensure the continuation of our culture in a dark time. Within its chambers rest contingents of zealots, Templar who bravely sacrificed, entering suspension so that they may serve as this vessel's army. Though it pains me greatly, I have begun severing their nerve cords. The ship's lower decks contain a star forge capable of constructing weapons of war. There is much to learn about this vessel. Its technology is ancient, yet highly advanced. We are aboard a relic from a glorious time when our culture shined as a constellation. The celestial array has been updated, Hierarch. From here, you may select our next point of travel.
With this vessel, we will avenge what has transpired, Karax, and we will free the Templar. The Solar Matrix Core. Truly an impressive sight.
A synthetic star. Imagine what went into its creation. This chamber provides power to the Spear of Adun and all its systems. Its radiance even contributes nourishment for our warriors.
How long until you can bring its tactical systems online?
System analysis has begun, but the star has lain dormant for an eon. It will take time, and a powerful ignition catalyst like Solarite to restore it to full capacity.
Solarite? The Firstborn haven't utilized Solarite in millennia.
This vessel is ancient, Hierarch. We will need to exhaust even unconventional resources if we are to bring it to bear.
Do what you can, Phase Smith. We will acquire what you need.
Very well. You may begin augmenting the solar core whenever you are ready. Select the core to start reviewing your options, Hierarch.
You look different, Phase Smith.
Ah, you must be referring to these mechanical arms. I constructed them to improve my efficiency while running the solar core. So far, they have been quite helpful.
A preserver? Released from stasis?
She still bears her nerve cords. She's tethered to the collar.
Hold. I am Rohana, Grand Preserver of the Valari, and your War Council Advisor. You must be the Executor in command.
You are not possessed by the Dark One. How is this possible?
I feel darkness lingering at the edges of my every thought, but I am not corrupted. Preservers of my station have trained to control the Kala's every ripple. I assure you, I will stave off this evil and serve you better by doing so. As all preservers, I hold the memories and personalities of Protoss prior to my submission to stasis. This will allow me to contrast your tactical decisions with those of past executors. From this chamber, you will be able to make all military allocations.
I am Artanis, Hierarch of the Daylon. I lead all that is left of our civilization. Your memories are indeed of use, Rohana. But make no mistake. If you fall to this corruption, I will not hesitate to destroy you.
It is understood. I am prepared for the Firstborn's darkest hour. Come, let me show you what may be done here.
I have heard only tales of the Grand Preservers. I did not expect to encounter one aboard this vessel.
That is not surprising, Hierarch. My sisters and I are unique, trained from birth to master every intricacy of the Kala. I have experienced its true depth, plunged the infinite spectrum of emotion and memory. It is because of this gift we were selected to enter stasis, so that we may guide you in our most dire hour.
Your sisters were aboard the other Ark ships? Then they...
Are one with the Kala, fallen during the Zerg invasion of Aiur. I know this. I feel the tragedy that has befallen us, more deeply than you may realize.
A terrible burden has been laid upon you, Rohana.
Yet it is my fate to bear it. A fate foreseen by the same minds that constructed this vessel. I trust in their wisdom, Hierarch. I will serve my purpose, much as you must serve yours.
Karax, even without the Kala's light, I can sense your sadness, your pain. Does the spear of Adun bring you no joy?
That is just it, Hierarch. Without the Kala, it is as if I am blind. I cannot sense your feelings, know the true depth of your thoughts. I cannot call upon the surety of other phase smiths. I am alone.
I feel the isolation as well, as though thrashing within the vacuum of space. But you are not alone, brother.
To think, the Dark Templar have endured this existence all this time. The days ahead will not be easy.
We may not have the Kala to rely on, Karax, but we still stand as one. We will endure. There is no other option. No.
Hierarch, Shakuras is overrun. Loss of life is extensive. Hold. We are receiving a transmission.
Praise the gods. Artanis, you live.
Matriarch Vorazun, what has happened here?
Shakuras has fallen. The warp gate linking this world to Ire has been reopened. Countless hybrid and Zerg pour from the other side. They've obliterated our cities, decimated our shadow guard. We are trying to evacuate the remaining population, but I am uncertain whether we can hold long enough to get them safely away.
We will give you the time you need, Matriarch. My Templar are inbound.
My Dark Templar were tracking your invasion on Ire when we were cut off. Then the warp gate opened. What happened, Artanis?
Amon used the collar to seize control of the Templar. I could feel his rage tearing through me, and I was powerless against it. Zeratul found me. It was there that he...
Yes?
He tried to free me. And he succeeded, at the cost of his own life. He fell by my hand.
It was Amon's deed, not yours.
Zeratul came to me with a warning, but I did not act. Because of this, he is now gone, and the stars burn dimmer for his loss. Amon's deed or not, I carry a burden, Matriarch. One that cannot be easily lifted.
Shakuras teams with Amon's Zerg broods. We hold only the southwest quadrant of Talametros, and even that is in peril. We must evacuate our people, but the launch bays have been defiled with infestation. Only ground forces can clear them. Once the bays are free, the planetary warp conduit will allow our ships to escape safely.
The launch bays will be cleared. Your people will survive, Matriarch. This I swear.
Artanis, I'm detecting a rift opening near your position. Avoid Thrasher. By the gods, it's sieging the warp conduit!
Karax, are any of the Spear of Idun's weapon systems ready for use?
Orbital strike is online. Designating targets.
The Thrasher has been weakened. Warriors, move in and seal its fate! The launch bays have been reclaimed. Matriarch, you may complete the evacuation.
You have saved my people, Artanis, and they will never forget it. Despite this tragedy, I am pleased to see you once more, Hierarch. I had hoped that our next interaction would be your announcement of Ire's reclamation.
As did I. Instead, the Templar have fallen.
Then the threat is greater than I realized.
We cannot let the same fate befall Shakuras.
It is too late for that. Amon's Zerg pour through the warp gate as a tide of flesh and blade. They have already overrun Telemetros and are nearing the shrines of Lazul. This world is lost. With such an infestation, Shakuras must be destroyed.
Destroy Shakuras? I will not permit this.
Permit? Shakuras was my people's home long before we offered yours sanctuary upon it. I will not let this world be a den for Amon's forces. Worlds may fall to ash. What matters is that we endure.
To lose Shakuras and Ire.
We are a vagabond people, Artanis. Our true home has always been Ire. Let us reclaim it together.
It is fitting that the daughter of Raja Gal decides the fate of the world she helped forge. Let us make preparations at once.
Of all the Templar, you never wavered in the belief that our two peoples could live in unity. It is something I admired in you.
It is ironic to hear you say this. All this time, I believed you were reluctant to accept the unity I sought.
You and I had many a disagreement in the Twilight Council. For day by day, I saw my people losing what they were. I saw our precious old ways erode.
You wished to preserve them.
I am Nerazim, Dark Templar. I hold great pride in my people.
But you are also Protoss. That is the greater affiliation.
That is not what the Conclave believed when we were exiled long ago. Your kind had ire. Our culture is all we ever had.
All this time, this wretched little world was within striking distance of our fleets.
Much has changed since your era, Preserver. The Dark Templar are now our allies.
There was a time when the Protoss were broken. Throughout the aeon of strife, we tore at each other with wanton abandon. Only one path was ever found to end the madness and unify our people. The Kala. The Dark Ones rejected its light. They denied their own race. How can you fight for them?
For one so sworn to preserve our history, Rohana, how can you be so blind to its turn?
I see I have offended you, Hierarch. My apologies. Adapting to this period is difficult.
Tell me, Vorazun, how will we bring destruction to your world?
The Zelnaga Temple's phase prism can be overloaded, forcing a spike of energy into the planet's core. Enough of a charge, and the planet will shatter. Amon will not possess my world.
I have been thinking about this choice.
Are you reconsidering?
No. My time here has reminded me of the courage of your people. That we must fight. If we are to suffer, then so too will Amon. We will lure as many of Amon's hybrid and Zerg through the gateway as we can. Only once enough are through to wound him will we overload the temple and flee.
You mean to bleed him? Bold. But we can't risk the forces it would require to do such a thing.
Leave that to me, Matriarch. I have learned much from the Dark Templar.
Our forces have secured the Zelnaga Temple grounds. Artemis, how go your preparations?
I am configuring the temple now, but without the Uraj and the Callus, it will take time.
Time is not all it will take. The temple's energies are regulated by 3 Zenith Stones. Only once they are destroyed can the temple be overloaded.
Until then, we must defend it from the Zerg and their hybrid masters.
The Nerazim have long used Kadaran monoliths to protect our lands. I see your Phase-Smith has become familiar with them.
Indeed, Matriarch. The monoliths are quite deadly and fire a considerable distance. They should prove instrumental in our defense.
The moment has come. Let us begin. Templar, initiate dimensional recall. Get to safety, now!
The Zerg are poised to breach the temple.
Have faith, Matriarch. Your fallen people cry out for vengeance, and they shall have it.
alone. For our warrior hearts are bound by honor, tradition. Battle is waged in the name of the many. The brave, who generation after generation choose the mantle of Dark Templar.
The Nerazine fought valiantly beside us, even unto the destruction of their world. Why?
Their homeworld has always been Ire. They have never forgotten it, or the sacrifice that delivered them to safety.
You speak of Adun. So saith Judicator Zentheon. Adun failed to eradicate the rogue tribes, those who call themselves the Dark Templar. We witnessed the burst of the Twilight Star. In that treasonous instant, Adun ushered the heretics and himself to fate, purifying Ire of their taint, but allowing them life.
Treason? Adun chose mercy rather than committing genocide. This was a noble act, Preserver.
Was it? I see history through the eyes of those who lived it, Artanis.
Perhaps this is why you are blind to all that is before you. History's truths are only ever understood looking through the backwards lens, seeing its consequences take root.
As a preserver, I have always experienced history as a living, breathing now, as those who experienced it in the moment did. Perhaps I should consider the way you view it.
Shakuras is gone. It has become one with the eternal night. But the traditions we forged there will remain with us forever.
Is that still possible, Matriarch?
More so than you may realize. What do you know of the Shadow Walk, Artanis?
Little. Your people closely guard their customs.
It is our most sacred rite of passage. The initiate stands alone. Members of her tribe strike against her from the shadows. If she endures, she becomes a shadow hunter, true Dark Templar.
Why do you speak of this?
You stood alone, as Dark Templar, against countless enemies, risking your life for the many. You have walked as we have. You have walked the shadow path already, Artanis. You no longer have the Kala. You are Dark Templar.
Evasive war!
Protoss vessel. This is Commander James Raynor. Artanis? Man, ain't you a sight for sore eyes?
Friend Raynor, you seem rather occupied.
Just another day at the office.
Who are these insurgents?
Call themselves Mobius Corps. An elite guard that used to work for Dr. Narud. They've been striking worlds throughout the sector, leaving few survivors. Each world attacked reported hybrid leaving them.
Then truly, no world is beyond Amon's reach.
Reinforce those bulkheads. Reposition the Mark 7 Alpha. We need to form a battle line. They've overrun Sky Shield, our orbital defense platform. Looks like they've destroyed its atmospheric stabilizers. It's falling fast. If it crashes, it'll obliterate August ground.
We will ensure that does not happen, Commander. Engage their fleet and keep their assault at bay.
Like old times, buddy. Like old times.
I must remind you, our sacred law, the Deul, clearly forbids us to interfere with lesser beings, unless there is a direct threat to the Empire. Your choice to aid these Terrans is perplexing.
Why do you assume that they are lesser beings, Rohana?
I do not make an assumption. Gaze upon them. Unsophisticated, primitive. They communicate through orifices, mouths.
Many, including myself, once thought as you do. But I have seen their nobility. In time, you will also. It seems fate has drawn us together once again, James Raynor.
I'd call it luck.
Luck is a concept that is purely human in origin. We Protoss see the synchronicity of events and know there is a grander design behind them.
It don't matter how you see it. The result's the same. So what brought you all the way out here, Artanis?
Zeratul believed that the artifact in your possession, the Keystone, he called it, could guide us to the Xel'Naga.
Where's Zeratul now?
The Dark Prelate fell on Ire. His last hope was that I would continue his quest and find a way to stop Amon.
Damn it. Always knew there was only one way this quest of his was gonna end.
His loss is great. I know you called him friend.
I went through hell to get that artifact because of his damned fool prophecies. Lost a lot of good men. If he wanted you to have it, take it. It's yours. Right now, though, we got a city to save. This ain't good. Sky Shield's not gonna last much longer. At this rate, we've got maybe 10 minutes left till it lands smack dab on our capital.
Your suspicions were correct, Commander. Mobius Core is disabling the platform's atmospheric stabilizers as we speak.
The damage appears repairable, Hierarch.
Yeah, assuming Mobius Core leaves anything left to repair. Artanis, if you can clear out those troops, my boys can patch up those stabilizers. That should buy us some extra time.
We must move quickly. It will take the combined power of all 5 stabilizers to halt the platform's descent.
Friend Raynor, Sky Shield has been stabilized, and Mobius Core is retreating.
Admiral Horner will take control of the station from here. Gotta say, I owe you big time for this one, partner. That's a hell of a thing your boys did, Artanis. Sky Shield is back online. We're about to call down the cavalry.
We will join you on the surface and extract the Keystone.
I got some bad news for you. Seems our friends below had the same idea. While we were fighting to get planetside, the Imperial Palace was raided. Security data indicates the Keystone was taken. My mama used to have a saying, when it rains, it floods.
I am uncertain as to how this saying is helpful, friend Raynor.
Me either. Wait a minute. I'm getting intel. A Mobius Core evac team is headed toward Bennett Port. They got the Keystone.
We shall not let them escape.
It's looking bad, Artanis. A lot of dead people down there. We gotta take these bastards out.
What could have led these Terrans to come under Amon's thrall?
They were assigned to some top-secret details, running security at Dr. Narud's hybrid research labs. After Valerian re-established the government, the Mobius Foundation went dark. Last transmissions were chaotic, crazed. Next thing we know, the attack started.
Then Amon has turned them into his slaves. An army. They are dangerous, but they are only the start of the war to come.
You always were the optimistic sort. Welcome to Bennett Port, at least what's left of it. Mobius Corps entrenched themselves here to keep us from the artifact. Valerian's setting up his base now. Once he gets...
Raynor, what is happening?
The hybrid are channeling void energy into the Keystone. The resulting psionic disruption has overwhelmed the Terrans.
Deploy our immortals. We need heavy assault to protect these Terrans until the disruption subsides.
Man, that's 2 I owe you, Artanis. Felt like I was losing my damn mind.
The Keystone is recharging, Commander. They will surely activate it again soon. We must reclaim it.
You ain't kidding. Let's lock and load, partner. did it. We pushed Mobius core back. Damn. Look at this place. Even the Zerg didn't tear into the city like this.
Did you know this warrior?
No. But I know his story. I know all their stories. None of them ever think it'll end like this. Reports been coming in from all over. Dominion worlds overrun. Outposts destroyed. A lot more dead boys out there. Warriors.
Death is the fate of all warriors. A fate we too may soon embrace.
Fate ain't written, Artanis. Way I see it, if Zeratul believed you could make a difference in all this, then this fight's just begun.
It is your custom to shake the hand of a friend, is it not?
Give him hell, Artanis.
Rohana. Preserver. Rohana. Artanis. Amon. I see your doubt, your fear. You were so alone, mewling in the darkness. Let me release you. All of you, from the suffering of this life. The infinite cycle of strife and anguish is at an end.
Your words are little more than poison, Amon. Your actions bring nothing but death.
They bring purpose, an end to a cycle none within had chosen. Your resistance will only bring unneeded suffering.
It has passed, Hierarch. Pain is gone.
Do you see now why you must separate from the Kala? Its light has faded.
I will keep him at bay. I will endure. I have felt his rage, seen his truth.
If you will not sever your connection to the Kala, then you will be contained, kept in stasis.
I will preserve the Kala however I must. If I must endure imprisonment, so be it.
Look here, Hierarch. This material self-regenerates. It is no wonder the research of the Terrans claimed it to be from a recent epoch. My projections place it at several billion years old, if not more.
Zeratul's vision said that this keystone can guide us unto hope. What do you think it means?
Yes, guide us. It is a code wanting to be cracked. The keystone seems to be able to manipulate energies, but that may not be its sole purpose. I believe it stores its origin point within.
Its origin point?
Yes, I promise you. I will find out how this will lead us to the Xel'Naga.
Redouble your efforts, Karax. There is little time.
This war has only begun. It is one that will test our every limit.
Zeratul believed that the Xel'Naga lived, and that they would aid us.
I have heard his prophecies as well. It is said that the Xel'Naga come from a world that exists where none should. From there, all life in our universe takes its root. Our forebears searched for it, but nothing beyond legend was ever found.
And you? Do you believe as Zeratul did?
Zeratul killed my mother, Artanis. I will always hate him for this. I will always hold him in the highest contempt.
Raja Gal was corrupted by the Queen of Blades, Matriarch.
Yes, I know that now. Reason has no bearing on emotion. Our kind embraces this more than yours.
Zeratul grieved for her as well. His sense of guilt drove him to uncover the ancient prophecies, to find hope for our people.
You will forgive me if I do not place my faith in the words of an exile.
Hey there, your royalness. Man, this is weird. I've never talked to no Protoss before. Hey.
If I have learned one thing from your commander Raynor, it is that we are not so different, Rory Swan. Continue your report.
Right. So, the artifact, the keystone thingy's all yours. We're in the middle of transmitting all our data to your engineer.
You have my thanks. Please relay my appreciation to Commander Raynor.
Hey, you got it, Skippy.
Skippy? Glacius facility. Within lies the greatest weaponry the Empire ever developed.
It is the site of the Purifier Revival Program.
Purifiers? The forbidden weapon? They were sealed away by the Conclave, never to be restored.
The ancient purifiers are not kept here, Preserver. They are still locked away. Here, on Glacius, our researchers have been developing prototype weaponry inspired by that ancient technology.
You speak above your caste, Kalai. This is unimaginable heresy.
We are outmatched by Amon's forces and facing annihilation. If this technology may help us, we will use it.
Attacking the facility.
Amon has unleashed his servants. Ready our warriors!
The Tal'Darim. They have not been seen since the Aeon of Strife, before the Protoss were united by the Kala's light.
I'm afraid they returned some time ago, Rohana. We thought them fanatical servants of the Xel'Naga for years, but in truth, they had enslaved themselves to Amon.
Why would any being willingly follow Amon?
That is unclear. The Tal'Darim call themselves the Chosen. What Amon has chosen them for, we do not know. They are dangerous foes who have helped forge the hybrid and shed blood in the name of our great enemy.
Protoss turned upon Protoss. The Deul demands retribution for such offense. They must be destroyed.
If it is their fate, it shall be.
The purifier weaponry that has been researched here could prove to be a valuable addition to our arsenal.
That is what I am hoping. Is there any merit to Rohana's fears?
The Kalai on Glacius have prototyped the technology with successful results. It is said that these experimentations are no different than the Templar they are replications of, a byproduct of quantum predictive analytics.
They were and are still only machines. Do not give them such credence, Karax.
We too are machines of a biological nature. I often marvel at the architecture, the design, the careful construction of our form, our machinery. The Xel'Naga forged us as we forged the original purifiers. Hierarch, the Tal'Darim are unleashing their mothership's phase displacement beam against Glacius's orbital defenses.
I am First Ascendant Alarak, and I've been charged with destroying this facility. You seek the technology vault, but you are too late. It will be annihilated along with the rest of this pathetic world. Use your time to withdraw from the system, or remain here and watch your forces burn to ash. I care little which you choose.
He is not entirely correct. If we begin now, our forces could outpace the displacement beam.
Then we are going in!
Acquiring access.
Work quickly, Phase Smith.
Focus the disruptor on their location. Let them burn.
I have its coordinates. Warping aboard the container now.
You are not as weak as you appear, Artanis. We shall meet again.
The purifier weaponry is safely aboard the Spear of Adun. Wait, there is a prototype warrior here as well. I will have to examine it more closely.
You wish to see me, Phase Smith?
Artanis, it is good to see you, young Executor.
Phoenix? How can this be?
It was his cloned personality that was used for the purifier prototype. Given your friendship with the Source personality, I thought, well, he believes he was brought from stasis and made a Dragoon.
Why are you here, Phoenix?
I was given a directive by Aldaris himself to come to Glacius and serve the Templar.
It is the last recollection from his memory web. The Great Templar were still encoded by order of the Conclave.
Do you know about the experimentation done on Glacius? Why Aldaris gave you this order?
I am a warrior, old friend. You know this as well as any. It is not my place to question the order of Adjudicator.
His construction is highly advanced, an Adanium shell composed of a trillic compression mesh. It appears he was to be the first in a revival of the ancient program.
Enough! I have fought far too long for the will of the Conclave to be examined like some specimen. I am Templar, and I am reunited with the dearest of friends. Is this not a glorious day?
You are right, of course. Karax, these tests are no longer needed. Phoenix, welcome aboard the Spear of Adun.
These new purifier designs rival any technology our people have previously conceived. The replication data is the sort that allows accurate duplication of one's consciousness. Phoenix's personality may be accurate.
How accurate?
Within the 99th percentile.
So there is a chance for discrepancy.
Quite a minuscule one.
And in a lifetime, how many choices does that variation impact? Who would you be with such a difference in the decisions you've made? Keep a watchful eye on Phoenix. If he is to help us, I want to know who he is.
You and I have stood shoulder to shoulder, blades thrumming in the heat of battle countless times. And now you lead the Protoss. I well with pride at the mere thought of it.
I was chosen to represent the hierarchy by the remaining Judicators and the clans of the Nerazim. I am still honored by their choice.
Tassadar must be proud as well.
Tassadar is gone, Phoenix. He fell, bravely sacrificing for his people. He saved us from annihilation.
What? It cannot be. And Ire? Fallen to the Zerg as well?
It has.
How long have I lingered in stasis, becoming this dragoon?
Do you know of the Purifier program, Phoenix?
Of course. The greatest Templar minds replicated. Dangerous machines that had to be shut down.
They were shut down, but we have never ceased the research, and still have tried to find ways to replicate our greatest Templar, to use that ancient technology.
Why do you tell me this?
We are facing a war like none we have seen before. We will need you in the days ahead. Maybe even the Purifiers.
Then my blades are yours, old friend.
Seeing Phoenix once more perplexes me. I feel sadness, but I should feel joy.
It is said the warrior Phoenix was felled by the Queen of Blades. This approximation is not Phoenix, but he is a reminder of the loss you suffered.
His voice, thoughts, his very presence. He describes memories we shared with such vivid recollection. Every instinct I have tells me that this is my friend, but all logic defies it.
We of the Nerazim often ponder whether our people are the sum total of their experiences, or are more than them. A truth lingering inside us. In time, we shall see if this Phoenix has his own truth, or is little more than a flawed forgery.
Hierarch, I see the master construction of the Xel'Naga now. Their understanding that energy, essence, and information are all one. Each interchangeable, each mutable.
Then you uncovered the information Zeratul foresaw within this keystone.
I have. From what I understand, it will lead us to Ulnar.
Ulnar. It is a place of myth. A realm whispered of in our legends.
The homeworld of the Xel'Naga. I believe the keystone can project its location.
Show me, Karax.
It cannot be. I must be in error.
The Altarian Rift.
That is impossible. Nothing can survive within such unrelenting forces. It appears I have failed you, Hierarch.
I do not believe so, Karax. It is said that the Xel'Naga came from a place where no life should be. This aligns with Zeratul's prophecies. We will go in. Make preparations at once.
reason, we should be shredded into our base particles. Yet here we stand, between universes.
Zeratul was right. It is Ulnar. Think of it, matriarch. The cradle of all life, hidden all these years.
Yes, but why?
It is hard to believe we stand above Ulnar, the home of the Ihan-Ri, the Xel'Naga. The Judicators theorized the Xel'Naga left Aiur to return to a place such as this. It is said they slumbered through the ages.
Zeratul believed the artifact would lead us unto hope. The Xel'Naga may be the hope he spoke of.
If the legends are true, then the Xel'Naga are below, awaiting their children to awaken them.
Then let us hope so. Phoenix, you appear distressed.
Apologies, Hierarch. I have been pondering the events that brought me here. I have discovered there are holes in my memory. Battles recorded here in the ship's archives that I should be able to recall, but cannot.
What is it you have found?
Records of my defeat at Antioch, and being revived as a dragoon. But this body, it is clear to me that I am no dragoon.
There is more to those records, Phoenix. But what you uncover may not be desirable.
I am willing to face the truth, old friend, however difficult it may be.
Then I hope you find the answers you seek.
How Zeratul foresaw the keystone would lead us here is uncanny. It is now clear that it was this device's primary purpose.
Zeratul was in touch with an expression of reality beyond my understanding.
This place should not exist. It defies all decrees of science, shatters all understanding of astral mechanics.
I once thought we Protoss had reached the pinnacle of attainable knowledge. I was a fool. There is far more in the galaxy than exists within Protoss understanding, friend Karax. I know this now. Here lies the resting place of the Xel'Naga. We must find a way to unseal this access way if we are to awaken them. Grand Preserver, what do you know of the temple in the depths below?
Only myth, legend. Here upon Ulnar, the destined races will seek ascension. Their very presence shall open the way forward. I believe these celestial locks are the key. Our forces should claim them in the hopes the way forward presents itself.
Hierarch, the Tal'Darim are here. They are taking control of the celestial locks.
Voices' demands are clear. Keep the temple sealed.
As long as they control the locks, the secrets of the temple will remain hidden from us.
Warriors, engage the enemy and reclaim the locks. Amon will not have his victory so easily.
All 5 locks have been captured, Hierarch. The access way is opening.
It seems Amon's forces have drawn back. I sense only a great stillness from within the temple.
Then we have succeeded. It will not be long before we see what fate has in store for us.
Amon's forces arrived here before we did. The temple may already be under his control.
Zeratul believed the other Xel'Naga were here, and that they would stand with us against Amon. They could end the war. My people could be free once again.
Then why have the Xel'Naga not answered us?
I am going into the Ulnar Temple alone, Matriarch. I do not intend to risk any more lives.
You risked your own life on the word of a traitor.
He killed your mother, Vorazun. That is true. But he was never a traitor. I do not wish for death. Only to see Zeratul's visions fulfilled.
You will return. That much, I believe.
Your enemy. I have come seeking the Zelnaga.
It seems fate has drawn us together. We should not tempt it further. The shrines call this place the Temple of Unification. The Zelnaga are somewhere within.
So far, all I've encountered are hybrid. I've been fighting them for days. Progress has been difficult.
The prophecies foretell of two ascended races, working together to seek out the halls of revelation within the temple. Only with both present will the shrines reveal the means to awaken the slumbering Zelnaga.
I've never cared much for prophecy.
And yet, despite our history, here we stand, together. Perhaps you should start. I see now. The Zelnaga were the first, born within the void. Their sacred purpose was to life and perpetuate the infinite cycle. At a new universe's creation, they take a physical form. If destroyed, they are thrust back into the void. All of this time, they have waited for us to assemble the keystone and find our way here. Amon indwells my people, possessing them through the Kala. But he has no physical form. If he were separated from the Templar, he could be forced back into the void.
Come on, Artanis. We've still got a long way to go. The shrines look like they're covered with pictograms. How do you know what they say?
Communing with the shrine is more than reading carvings. Each atom of the stone has been placed with meaning, purpose. It was here, from Ulnar, that the Xel'Naga began to seed the universe with life. They created us, just as they gave life to a numberless assembly of races in other universes. Every time, they observe and identify the potential of their offspring, never interfering. The infinite cycle will always be the same. Two races are destined to emerge. One, pure of essence, an indomitable spirit capable of great change. And one, pure of form, a being capable of vast psionic potential, able to house the essence of a Xel'Naga. Purity of essence and form, the Zerg and the Protoss. But if the Xel'Naga do not interfere, then it was Amon who uplifted my people. All we thought was the Xel'Naga was a lie.
Come on, Artanis. We're not far from having some answers.
I believe this must be the final hall.
Wait. The doors are open. The construct's destroyed.
The shrine is under attack. This can only be the work of Amon. We delay no longer. Our salvation will not be stolen. Ahead of us, within the Chamber of Ascension, the Xel'Naga have slumbered as civilizations grew, fell, and formed again. They will awaken when the two destined races arrive. Then, the elders among them will give their lives to bestow their essence. And pure of form and pure of essence will be reborn as Xel'Naga, shepherds of the infinite cycle.
So, what do you say? Ready to meet your maker?
Indeed. Come. The Chamber of Ascension lies ahead, and our salvation within.
Something's not right here.
The Xel'Naga. broken, Amon. The firstborn shall fear you no longer!
Matriarch, there is a massive output of void energy spiking from the temple below.
Target the epicenter of the...
I do not come as your enemy, Dark Templar. You must listen to me, Matriarch. Amon's trap is sprung. Your leader is in grave danger.
You think us fools?
Yes, but that is irrelevant. What is relevant is that Amon has opened a gateway to the void. Dark energies pour from within, and they will burn through your precious leader, and any who oppose Amon. I can guide you to Artanis before this fate befalls him. If we are bold, we can stop the Dark God's assault.
Am I to believe that the moment you're released, your blade will not be in my back?
You waste time. Lower your blades. I am Alarak, first descendant of the Tal'Darim. Amon has betrayed my people. Retribution will be claimed for this, and if your hierarch survives, he will aid in it. Make your decision.
You will take us to Artanis.
Most wise.
Rohana! Rohana!
You sought honor, and now you have found it. The cradle of life, both your beginning and your end.
Release her, Amon.
Do you seek deliverance within these empty halls? You will find none here. Only the truth of the Xel'Naga's failure.
Let her go!
I offer a gift. Release in oblivion.
Silence!
Matriarch, the Keystone has begun absorbing void energies at an unprecedented rate.
Then this Tal'Darim speaks the truth.
Void energies flood from the temple. With each passing moment, the threat grows. I do not trust him, but all data points to the scenario he describes. A gateway to the void has been opened.
Is there any way to pinpoint Artanis?
No. The energies are making us virtually blind.
We must put our faith in this Tal'Darim. It pains me to do so.
This path will lead your forces to Artanis. I have done as I promised, Dark Templar.